Hello, and welcome to another episode of Storytime. One of the stories I'm reading today is from my latest collection, Mistletoe Magic and Other Holiday Tales. And as you can imagine from the title of the collection, it is holiday themed. It's called 12 Days Before Christmas. On the 12th day before Christmas, my mother-in-law Agnes sent me an email in which she casually mentioned that they would be arriving not on December 21st, but on the 17th, so we could have more time to spend with Michael and our three darling grandchildren, and you, of course. Sometimes I dread the holidays. On the 11th day before Christmas, I called my cleaning woman to request that she change my appointment from the 18th to the 16th. However, she told me that while she was sympathetic to my plight, she was solidly scheduled and couldn't accommodate me. I'm sure your mother-in-law doesn't care whether your baseboards and door frames are dust-free. She just wants to see you, which demonstrated a clear lack of understanding of the primary role of a mother-in-law, to conduct an ongoing evaluation of their son's choice of spouse and find the woman wanting in one way or another. On the 10th day before Christmas, my husband announced that, by the way, they had to change the date of the office party, something about a roof leak at the scheduled location. So it's this Friday. But you won't have any trouble getting a sitter, will you? Wrong, since when I called Stacy, the only sitter on the list who was still willing to watch all three kids at one time, she claimed she was already booked. Maybe. Or maybe it was because the last time she watched the kids, she spent 2 hours taking apart the doorknob to the bathroom because Sarah, one of the aforementioned darling grandchildren, had locked herself in there with her favorite doll that Charlie had threatened to throw down the storm sewer. The same sewer where she had thrown his autographed Major League Baseball that his grandparents had given him for his last birthday. The same sewer where Jason was now stuck in a vain attempt to retrieve said baseball. I didn't know that you could call the fire department for those types of emergencies. So I could see where my kids could be too much for any one person, especially since I only paid $10 an hour, plus all the snacks the sitter could eat, at least before Lily, our 80-pound omnivorous lab, could get to them. On the 9th day before Christmas, Sarah came home from school with a sore throat and earache that led to a 2-hour visit at the pediatrician, followed by a 1-hour wait at the pharmacy where other parents were also getting their prescription for the annual holiday illness outbreak. The medication, that, by the way, cost as much as a prime rib dinner, was only for the upper respiratory issue. It wouldn't do much for the intestinal virus that kicked in on the ride home. I was never more grateful for the plastic wastebasket in the back seat as I was that afternoon. Well, we're only on the 9th day before Christmas, so as you can imagine, there is plenty more that can go wrong. The question is there any possibility for this poor beleaguered mother to have a happy holiday? Having raised two children who always pick the worst possible times to get sick, not that there's ever a good time for a child to be sick, but they pick the worst times, I could sympathize with this poor woman. And at the same time, it's funny. It's funny because that saying, it never rains, but it pours, really applied in her case. So I thought, well, I would just keep adding things to her plate until either the plate broke or she got really, really good at holding it all together. You'll have to read the story to find out, did she survive? How sick really were the kids? What did the dog eat? And we haven't even gotten into the subject of the visiting cat. And did the family have a good Christmas after all? How did the mother-in-law treat her daughter-in-law, who was just at her wit's end? If you want to know more and see how the story turned out, Mistletoe Magic and Other Holiday Tales, it is available online, in bookstores, you name it, anywhere you can think of getting it. And I would love to know what you think about it. Thanks for joining me here at Storytime.